Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
Splice to meet you. It's very Splice to meet you.
It's interesting to use accent because when I hear Splice to meet you, I always say it in Arnold Schwarzenegger's accent.
Oh, yeah.
It just seems like something he'd say
In your own
movie.
brain.
Yeah.
You don't say it out loud in his accent.
Yeah.
but
Splice to meet you.
So we're doing movies about DNA tinkering. In this one, it's all done for bigger fish.
More fish. Bigger fish.
And larger. And larger and more sexually aggressive salmon. We'll get
It's
into
interesting.
that,
More salmon.
Piggybacking off of our first movie, Splice.
Yeah.
Two gross movies in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they both kind of culminate in the same thing.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Humanoids from the Deep from 1980. We'll get into that for the main attraction. Roger Corman. And an interesting thing, Scott, who won the MailChimp. If you, by the way, if you want a chance to pick a main attraction feature, just sign up for our mailing list at notlp.com. But Scott Fogel, our buddy, picked another Roger Corman movie to wrap the month up with, and that's going to be Forbidden World, which is also kind of like in the vein of this movie as far as boobies.
In terms of boobies
or
gross sex.
Yeah.
In regards to gross sex.
Let's have a gross sex month.
I feel like we are. Inadvertently, that's what happened.
No, officially, we had to find gross sex movies.
Oh, fish. Ollie.
Oh, man.
Because it's about fish.
Joe and I are cracking along through that Twilight Zone.
Yeah, the special episodes you guys have been doing have been lovely.
Thank you. Zoned out.
You've been getting a lot of good feedback.
We have, yeah. Actually, I had some. It's funny. People were like, "What?" When we were recording our last episode, Joe was like, "What if people wanted to send stuff in? What's a good place?" I gave him the usual email address, but Kyle, our old buddy Kyle, he'll text me like feedback, and he gives me the best. It's so detailed.
Like while you guys are recording about the show you're recording.
Oh my god,
He's crouched in the corner.
That's very Twilight Zone-y if he did that.
Maybe.
So we had mentioned something about the waiting period for guns, and he said only 6 states have a waiting period for gun purchases.
Wow.
And
That's pathetic.
Does that include Ohio?
Probably not.
I don't know. He also I had been talking about Takeshi's Castle on Prime, and he reminded me it was called Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. Remember when we originally knew it here, it was under that name.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, also tinkering with DNA. He sent some suggestions along, some good ones that we're not covering, but these are great also rans. The 28 blank later series, Jurassic Park World, Overlord. I loved Overlord. That was so much fun. The Fly series, and he also included Super Mario Brothers from '93.
I don't remember. Was there like a DNA plot in that?
Yeah, there was something about them tinkering. Like King Koopa was doing some shit. I can't remember exactly what. And he also mentioned the Underworld movies, Gattaca and Doom.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, those are all really good. That goes to show you it's a good theme. There's a lot of options. A lot of good, gooey options. But this week's is maybe one of the more irreverent of the bunch.
I'd say so. Isn't it strange that we're doing this this theme when today they announced the direwolf? They brought back from
Game of
extinction.
Thrones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It's like all over Reddit.
And
I didn't go beyond a headline, so don't ask me too many questions.
What is a dire wolf?
It's a kind of
Is it just a wolf?
really big wolf.
that was extinct until today. Now we have live ones again due to DNA manipulation of some sort.
Uh-oh, did somebody have sex with something?
Gene splicing. No, I don't think they had
A
it.
dire
That's
wolf
what I assume according to these movies.
Well,
means fearsome dog.
there you go.
Where, what did you see where it was happened at?
in the world.
Somewhere.
You know how I like to go, real deep on these
No,
stories.
I'm also a headline reader, Amy.
I'm just a headline girl.
I can only do so much. There's too much information out there.
There's too much information, and all of it's bad. Sometimes it's good. I don't know. Is it good that we're bringing back the dire wolf?
Maybe it's the beginning and the end.
It says they're about the same
knows?
size as the largest modern gray wolves. I don't know what that means.
I don't know how big a gray wolf is.
I
so-
imagine very big.
Yeah.
I'm scared of. I think about it. And I'm like, oh. I think first thing I'm like, oh.
There's a
And then I'm like,
sanctuary around here that you can visit wolves.
Oh yeah, they seem to like people a lot there too.
We should do that and compare it to a dire wolf.
I want to do it.
Don't they have
I've been
wolves
saying
at
it for
the,
years.
At the zoo?
Yeah, but you can't go hang out with them, risk your life.
Well, no.
Don't you? Wouldn't you rather risk your life?
I'm just trying to think to myself. I've seen a wolf then
Yeah.
if they have them at the zoo.
Well, you saw one in person at Horror Hound. That one lady had one.
I don't remember.
She was like treating it like it was a service animal, and I was like, that can't be a thing. There's no way. But it was
just
real
a
nice.
big dog.
Can't train a
looking
wolf.
thing?
It was a wolf. It had those. There's something
Like a
about the
wolf dog?
legs. Yeah, like maybe a wolf dog.
Like a half.
I don't know. I think she just said it was just a wolf. I don't know. It was pretty chill.
I don't think it's legal to just leash him up and wander around with him.
It's Horror Hound weekend though.
I don't know about all
You
that.
know what I mean?
Anything goes, baby.
And this was back in the day when people would come in with like edged weapons and everybody batted an eye at it. A loaded crossbow. Just swinging off their back.
Do you think that has to be a law, or am I just thinking common sense
About wolves?
about the fact that you can't say it's illegal to leash one and to bring it inside a building? But I gotta think somewhere it's codified.
Yeah, I mean, like when you domesticate an animal, there are laws involved.
Yeah.
There are dog tags. They're not called wolf tags.
I mean, could we leash a deer and bring it in?
Yeah. If it's
Is
cute,
that-
if it's
I'd
cute
rather
enough.
get-
Is that
not.
legal too? What are the laws about leashing wild animals?
I wish I knew a lawyer.
Raccoons.
Yeah.
They don't need leashes though, because they got little hands. They can do for themselves.
Yeah, just leave a trail of food and they'll follow you.
Oh my God, the most recent Righteous Gemstones has a helper monkey in it, like a capuchin or whatever they call them. I'm totally won over. I think they're going to do monkey shines, but that's all. Just organically came to mind out of the conversation is all
Okay.
about animals and leashes. Oh
Anyway.
God,
Welcome back, dire wolf.
yeah, that's insane.
Let's catch you
No,
up on what you missed.
No, it should be welcome back because we don't know the consequences of this yet, right?
Have we pissed off God? Have we disobeyed the laws of nature?
Who knows? Are we going to get bigger salmon out of it?
I don't know. I guess we could talk about it.
Mm-hmm. We could. About the consequences of of it all.
Of it all.
Man, I've been thinking about candy.
Okay.
You know how it is.
Freddy's hungry.
The kind you eat or
I'm
somebody you know?
Both. It's candy. Oh, candy. Amy's aunt is candy.
I do have an Aunt Candy.
Is she sweet?
Sure.
Yeah.
Not all. I mean, there are some sour candies.
She
Yeah.
can. She's a human being.
Is she a Sour Patch Kid?
She can be a Sour Patch Kid and a sweet.
She'd send us like
Tart.
the check sometimes, just a check. We'd be like, that's odd.
I got checks from her into my 30s. I'm
Yeah.
like, Aunt Candy, it's cool.
I
You
thought it
don't
was
have
really
to-"
sweet. It always touched me.
I cashed them because, I mean, come on.
Yeah. I thought it was one of the more
I
adorable
need
things.
money. Anyway.
I'll probably do that with my great niece one day.
Send her checks.
She won't know what they are.
What's a check? What's this relic?
It's the thought that
I
counts.
mean, is that how like grandparents give like cash to their grandkids now, like Venmo or something?
I'm sure they probably do. Hip grandparents.
That just seems. I mean, it's nice the thought there, but there's something about opening a card and seeing cash or a check there.
Do you think that the
Yeah.
grandparents do what you do when you send me Venmos?
Oh, put like a little fun comment.
Like butt stuff
Yeah.
in the memo line?
I love that giggle.
Love me, Ma. For butt stuff, love me, Ma.
But apparently, you have to put butt stuff in one word because it flags it as If it's 2 words, it won't let you send it that way.
Really?
It would be inappropriate
That's
that way.
hilarious. Oh my god.
So I guess they haven't cracked the code of butt stuff.
So I wonder if you bought pork butts from somebody.
Yeah.
Does it have to be pork butts? Yeah. Something to think about if you have the time.
That's all I could do to stop myself.
All right.
From-
Did you want to get into the movie?
Yes.
All right, let's do that.
Turn out lights, it's the main attraction.
From 1980, Humanoids from the Deep. Humanoid sea creatures start killing a fishing town's residents and raping their women. It's up to the townsfolk and a visiting biologist to fight back and fend them off.
Does it say that in the description? The raping of the woman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, there's no, it's pretty blatant and it's like, hey, this is what's happening. There's no, what do you think is going on?
No, it's like I know what's going on in the movie, but just the
Yeah.
description is very
be
interesting that
that-
they would so blunt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a blunt movie.
It's like, hey, by the way, trigger warning.
Yeah.
There's going to be a significant amount of that. And we watched the Joe Bob version. So we had his interview actually with Roger Corman. So this was a few years back.
Great
since
interview.
He's passed.
Yeah.
Really good interview. The director of this movie was a woman who was, I guess, told or didn't or should have, and they wanted her to include more
Titties.
and more sex and violence.
It was Barbara Peters.
Yeah, and so they went ahead and did that without her.
Oh, so they had like pickup shots where they just put that stuff in?
Yeah, that was all done without her knowledge.
Ooh. Release the Peters cut.
Yeah,
The Peters cut, all those moments where the fish are raping the women are just shadows. And then instead.
And them drinking international coffee.
Yeah.
then what?
They did one with shadows, right? An ad
No, I
for
don't know.
international coffees. What made you think of international coffee?
No, because it's like what the Peters cut is like more feminine and
Oh, I got you.
Oh,
I got you.
girly.
When I meant there, you put into my mind a whole you inceptioned a full what was it, international coffee ad in my brain where it was all shadows.
you did that.
You did that. You
You're
created
magic.
It went to your mind, and I didn't like what I saw.
Nope.
that. It's like the country crock commercial with the 2 hands.
Yeah.
And she's like slapping his hand because he wants more bread.
We're like the last people who are going to remember this stuff.
Yeah.
It dies with us.
No, but we just send it out in the world again.
Yeah.
We're like Samara. We just
We're keeping
Pass it
this,
along.
we passed it along.
this country crock shit alive. Oh my God.
The first time I experienced this movie was we were at the drive-in and they showed like old trailers from movies, and they showed this, and I was like, that looks fun. Then I went home and watched it.
I love this movie. I saw it as a kid, and I didn't know they were raping the ladies. I just knew it was scary. I thought it was scary as shit.
Thought they were wrestling.
Yeah.
Just rolling around.
I
in
thought
the
they,
hay.
they were eating her. Honestly, I mean, I thought everyone was getting eaten in some way or
Well,
another.
yeah.
No, I mean devoured.
You can devour pussy.
Oh my God.
Well, I can.
Oh my God.
Heyo. Vic Morrow's in this as just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He was so good at playing pieces of shit.
He was Vic Morrow.
He was the guy who most people remember for him dying when they made the Twilight Zone
Oh,
in the helicopter
okay.
accident.
That's him. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was he like famous before this too? Before that too?
He was in Fake Jaws. Remember Fake Jaws?
Yeah.
He was the fake Quint in Fake Jaws. He was in a bunch of Italian genre
Was he the bad?
stuff.
So he was the bad guy in this, right? The perm.
Yeah.
Yes,
He was
yeah.
He was
perm.
perm.
Yeah. And I would say, let's see, the thing Vic Morrow is most known for is the show Combat! ! But you didn't watch that. He was in the Bad News Bears and 1990 The Bronx Warriors. Mwah. Mwah. If you want a good,
God, we've covered a couple of
Yeah.
Vic Morrow movies
yeah.
on the show.
We have Doug McClure is in this as Jim Hill, our hero. And yes, Troy McClure from The Simpsons was based on this guy.
Mm.
I just learned that thanks to the IMDb trivia, and I was shocked.
It makes
dare
you want to
say.
go watch like a best
This
of
guy?
Troy McClure compilation. Because
Or Doug McClure.
of Troy, the fake one, because we have had Doug McClure pop up a couple of times by accident, probably because of the algorithm.
Yeah.
We ended up watching something else, and Doug McClure was in it.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
Or a trailer for something, at least.
Yeah. Anywho,
Humanoids from the Deep.
Humanoids from the Deep.
There's a lot of tension in this small fishing town. Well, there's some tension.
Racial tension.
There's racial tension.
Twilight Zone, sorry. He was on one of our recent podcasts about the Twilight Zone. Not him. He's dead. But as a topic, Doug McClure.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Well, I've just lost my train of thought.
You said there's tension in this small fishing village.
Yes, between your white folk, and then there's the natives that also live in this town. And then there's tension between those who want the cannery to come to town and those who don't. So there's a lot of tension in this little town, and it was bound to explode. Who knew it would be with amphibious monsters from the deep?
Was the cannery also behind
Yeah.
souping up the salmon? It was
They're
all
the
one
ones
thing.
that they're the ones
Yeah.
that release the chemicals
Yeah.
into the water to make the fish grow faster.
The DNA 5.
That darn cannery.
Canco is the name of the company.
What a creative name!
Canco Cannery.
It's kind of believable.
You're not wrong.
People make stupid names up for their companies, man. It's always some guy, some jerk, couldn't do anything else but figured out how to can stuff. You know.
Canco.
And he's just a regular old asshole. And he wants to call it Thunderbird Alley at first, but then they're like, it's too vague.
Didn't market very well.
Yeah,
Thunderbird Alley.
Thunderbird Alley Canning Company.
That's fine. I don't think I'd buy fish from Thunderbird Alley.
Nor should you.
It would be weird. Isn't that funny that we can't look past a name?
Yeah, you want to see that on there, Canco. You're like, if I'm going to buy something in a can, that's who I'm looking for, because you
Who
know they're
better?
going to be the best at it, because it's all they do.
You think their big competitors are called Boxco?
Boxco and Satco, Potco, Tubeco.
Tubeco. Black. If you are not a person who likes seeing a dog die on screen, you're going to want to not watch this movie.
You don't actually see any dogs die, though, do you?
Yeah, you do, don't you?
I thought they just
You're
all
like,
turn
he
up
was-
dead.
No.
I mean, we don't see
Like, you see him chewing on him? Or did I make that up?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
it wasn't like that, but it's. I know it's not real because I know that amphibious sea creatures don't exist like that.
So
Well, I
you're okay,
know.
but you know the dogs do look pretty real.
No, but like I'm not okay with like dog violence, but when it's so exaggerated
It's
like
so
this,
many.
it's not.
serves
It doesn't hit as hard as
Yeah.
like a more dramatic movie.
As long as no real animals were hurt, I don't
Yeah.
really care what they do. But I do feel like you're like it does serve it, like, because you're like, oh, there is like, oh, these are something nasties out there. You
Steaks.
got to warm up with, like, even Jaws warms up with a dog, you know.
Yeah.
You got to warm up.
Many dogs.
Sadly, and you really want to hate the monster to have him kill man's best friend. That puts us at odds right away.
And all the dogs that die are the assholes down on the docks who don't like the natives, don't care for or want the cannery. So there's these assholes, all their dogs die, but
Yeah.
not the Native Americans.
They still have red ball caps on, right?
We're agreeing,
Yeah.
but we didn't like
We're all
verbally.
we're just nodding
Yeah.
at each other. Yeah.
I forgot that it's a media that we need to speak as opposed to visual.
Yeah.
When, like they can't see us
Yeah.
nod.
But we all agree they should have been wearing red ball caps, a whole lot of them. Yeah.
It's implied.
Vic Morrow.
Yeah.
Is that the proper response? Yeah, there's a lot of small town bigotry, a
Yeah.
lot of racism.
Town hall meetings, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It has a vibe kind of like My Bloody Valentine, the original.
Yeah.
one.
It does.
Yeah. And it's gory. I love the gore. Rob Bottin, who did the Thing. Also, the very convincing like dead dogs all across the board in his background. Maybe that's why he doesn't work anymore. He was like sad from making too many dead dogs.
So he actually worked on the thing.
Yeah.
What a step up!
Yeah. Well, I think the thing was before this even, wasn't it?
The thing was 82.
Oh, was it 82?
This was
80.
80.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the thing was 82.
I don't know. I believe you.
You're
check.
Mr. IMDb. You should know.
I'll find out for you for sure.
As Freddy is looking that up, let's talk about him. He can't stop us. He's not paying attention.
What?
No, it's fine. Everything's fine.
You're right, Andy. 82. If we ever have to go to another horror trivia contest.
and that's the only question they ask. Then I'm set.
Do you know that's Stephen Colbert's favorite movie?
Is it?
Yeah.
What?
The Thing.
Oh, I thought
He's
you
got
meant
good taste.
Humanoids From the
It
Deep.
does.
So,
That would be funny.
so basically, this movie is about big fish versus little fish, and the cannery is coming in, and they're going to kind of put these guys out of business,
Yeah.
the little guys,
Little guys.
and there's all this corporate espionage type stuff.
It is a
kinda hinted
thriller.
at.
Yeah, and they think that the big corporate people think the little guys are trying to like make it very unhospitable for them, and by
Right.
killing their dogs and protesting everything. But just things ramp up, and people start getting attacked in pretty gruesome ways.
Men get like mauled to death.
And they kind of blame the native guy.
That's what they think that's who's doing all these maulings, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is
We
insanity.
have one survivor, Peggy. Is that what her name was? You guys, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But she survives and like on the DL throughout all this as all this chaos is unfolding. That's important for the end of the movie. That's all you need.
And I don't know who was the Peters director. She likes explosions, huh?
everything exploded.
Yeah.
This is a
That's Corman.
this movie. This town is a powder keg just waiting to go off in many ways.
In that interview,
Because
Andy,
like
he gets into
a little
that.
spark will just make anything explode.
A little dabble, do ya?
Corman said he required that.
Did he?
Like when they would have a car, they would wreck the car, but they also had to explode it every
Yeah.
time. It was pretty funny.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, like in the beginning, there's kind of like a Jaws moment with like Alex Kittner,
Yeah.
and like one of the kids, fisherman's kids, gets eaten by one of the sea creatures.
They blow themselves up. It's a great opening.
Yeah.
Because it was a great almost like Final Destination style. Like, well, who was it who had the gasoline? Was it
The kid, he knocked it over.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
spilling it everywhere, and then he gets eaten, and then the other guy comes stumbling up the stairs with a flare gun.
Yeah.
What a great sequence of just worst case
Like
scenario.
I'm not a scientist. I don't know how explosive gasoline is, but it just seemed
Yeah.
bigger.
It's real
than
big.
It should have been.
That's what I started thinking, but then in my head, I'm like, well, Amy, I don't know if there's a bunch of it produces a gas too, and maybe there's a bunch of the gas built up in the room, and all it took was one little, little light, and boom, boom. I don't know.
Maybe the guys were just cracking off farts all day
Yeah.
too in that little cabin.
It became a powder keg.
Yeah.
But I'm beginning to think Roger Corman is like Beavis. He's like fire, because he according to you, he loves explosions.
He does. I think it was bang for the buck. He knew it was a big spectacle. And it
Fires
was
and
cheap.
titties.
And even later in the movie, there's a scene where the corporate guys are trying to intimidate the smaller fishermen by throwing like a Molotov cocktail at their cabin. And that caused another huge,
These huge explosions. Yeah, all over.
wouldn't that just light something on fire? It wouldn't explode, right?
I mean, maybe he threw it at their gas tank or something, but it just seemed like a mushroom.
Yes.
It was like a mushroom cloud type explosion.
Again, I'm not.
When we get into the
fire
algorithm, I got to
scientist.
remember because we watched Streets of Fire. Amy, I think you passed out pretty quick, but there's a ridiculous amount of explosions in that too, and it literally is all it takes is you pointing a gun at something and pulling the trigger, and it will explode. So there's been a lot of this in my life this week.
How else are the streets going to be a fire?
It's true. It's a good point.
Salmon Festival It's their salmon festival. It's a big deal. And no yo.
And there's a salmon queen too.
There's a salmon queen and Noyo or Noyo
And
is the name of the city.
Like, wow, was Morning Zoo's tile
he's
anchor.
like, and now introducing Miss Salmon. And there's this chick in a bikini with a Miss Salmon sash across her.
That lady turned. We learned this on Joe Bob too. That she became real successful in the film industry.
Oh,
I
good
can't
for
remember
her.
what her name was.
From Miss Salmon to
Yeah, Miss Salmon.
successful Hollywood actress.
I think behind the even
Couldn't
behind the
happen.
scenes stuff.
To a nicer salmon queen.
Sandy Miss Salmon. It was Linda Shane, and she's worked on a bunch of stuff. She worked on Hill Street Blues, and Graduation Day, that we covered on the show. I mean, he was talking about her career like as if it were a big mainstream thing, but the stuff I'm seeing is more
a working
genre.
actress is success. Like is still a good thing.
Yeah. She had like 8 credits or something, 9.
So what was up with the ventriloquist dummy?
It was just a little spice, little a slice of charm. No, there were a couple moments like that between that and Miss Salmon,
Yeah.
and during the end with the amphibious monster chaos.
Yeah.
On the carousel, and you see dead bodies swirling around the carousel. It's like little moments like this that give the movie a lot of character.
Yeah, I agree. They took a lot of care to dress it up
Yeah.
too. The another thing, Joe Bob, I thought was interesting, like what you were just talking about, was
How about the listeners just watch the Joe Bob?
I know, watch the Joe Bob. If you have,
It sounds like
if you have
we're just
Shudder-
regurgitating
Yeah,
all
I
this
know.
stuff.
But I feel like we have to mention that it's like what you were saying. Those people were like the guy with the dummy is part of like his regular act.
Yeah, it just seems like they found like somebody that happened to do this stuff, and they said,
Yeah.
let's throw it in.
The old people band.
Yeah.
They
with
didn't
the
want to
little
play
banjos.
Yeah. And the lady, she was the leader of that band, and she didn't want to play anything upbeat because the kids were getting eaten by fishmen.
Yeah.
And because he was asking for bum ruby dee. What is that called? That rum pum boom ba. I don't even know how the hell they say it.
No.
You know, da 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 da. That
Okay.
song. I don't know. I'm making jibber jabber.
You really are.
No, but that's why this movie's so charming, because there's just like little moments like that, and it seems like this movie was very like shoestring budget and seemed very dangerous too.
Yeah.
I feel like there are no regulations on this set, like safety regulations.
How do you think feels to be inside one of those suits, one of the monster suits?
Wasn't it just one of them?
There were
There were
multiple.
dozens at the end.
Were they all in the same shot though?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I think it was like basically.
Actually, yeah, I was like, but
Yeah.
if there's only a couple of suits, then they did a really good job
Yeah.
of making there seem like more of them.
Yeah, I think they did. I think it was all tricks to make it seem like more.
I bet it was hell in that suit.
And that
Especially
was all,
when they're in the water, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Rob Bottin in the suit too.
Right.
Although it was a combination of good character design but bad at the same time.
Yeah,
Especially one of the ones with the really long arms.
I love the ones. Every time he would come on the screen, I was like,
Yeah.
"These arms, oh man!"
But it's clearly like they're just holding like 2 broomsticks out.
Yeah. So, well, it's kind of like Freddy Krueger's
Yeah.
arms in the first one. That still to me is scary.
But not that. The
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger is scary, but this, the way
Yeah.
like it was executed
A
in
little
this
too
way.
too much,
Yeah.
too stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was kind of ridiculous.
for real though.
Because you could see one of them with big long arms, but behind him is somebody eating a woman,
yeah,
and they don't have long arms because they have to be shown holding on to the person in front of them.
you make a good point.
I'm just saying.
Do you think there are different?
they only had
kinds
one
them?
set of long arms?
different
Yeah,
kinds of
because like
humanoids.
there's different kinds of salmon out there.
Mm.
So like
Master chefs
yeah.
to be believed.
Or salmon, because there were a few people in this movie that would pronounce it salmon, and now I'm like, well, which is right?
Salmon,
salmon rushdie.
salmon,
Salmon,
salmon, salmon.
salmon.
So it turns out the Canco is doing some genetic experiments where they combine DNA with frogs
Yeah.
Yeah.
and to accelerate the growth of animals so they can have more salmon to fish. But it got out their experiment before it was ready, and the salmon ate the fish, ate the frogs, and then just spawned a new creature, basically.
They didn't fuck them.
No, that comes later.
Yeah. But we do
Not
get there,
yet.
just like with Splice.
But how do salmon and frogs combine to make this humanoid creature?
I don't know. How do eggs and flour come together to make a cake?
That's a good question, Freddy.
Thank you.
It is a good question. All good questions, you guys. No stupid questions around here. I don't think we were treated to a lot of care.
We weren't meant to.
I mean,
know.
maybe because it combined with like human
Around
waste
that.
in the ocean and
Yeah.
created a whole new thing.
I think like Roger Corman movies and trauma movies are like real close together in this area where like Roger Corman, you kind of maybe think you're like, you might get an explanation and it might have real terminology in it at some point. Trauma would have just been like, it's just toxic waste.
Yeah, I know it's silly of me to try to break down the science of this, but it was a leap for me to see salmon and frogs combined to make a humanoid creature.
Funny
Yeah.
you should say that.
Humanoid.
Because frogs leap, and also when salmon are going upstream, they leap
I'm
during mating season.
Because frogs kind of have like
Season.
human-like legs in a way, right?
Season.
Sure.
And they have little arms.
Mm-hmm.
Littlest arms.
They got little arms, not big long ones, not big Freddy Krueger arms. They got little arms, strong little butts, powerful. Butts.
They have exposed brains.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which,
that's their weak spot.
Gotta
Yeah.
hit them in their exposed
Yeah.
brain.
Their skull doesn't quite go all the way around, but the
Yeah.
brain stays locked in.
Kind of Mars a taxi
Yeah.
in a way.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the salmon were treated with a new DNA something.
Yeah.
That was very exciting. Long drawn out scene of like destruction of massive amounts of the monster creature coming on shore.
Yeah, just the whole fucking taste of
Going
whatever
crazy.
town this is destroyed.
It's a salmon festival.
Yeah, the
All-
taste of salmon festival.
All of your
I
salmon
wonder what they have there.
It's salmon
belongs.
It's like salmon again.
and frogs, frog legs.
Ugh.
That's actually it was very impressive. The festival destruction scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that
There's
was
a
missing.
lot of people involved and actual seemed like they're actually scared.
Yeah, yeah. It had like all the booths you'd expect to see at your
Yeah.
fair.
A kid at some point, and I forget, I'm like having a hard time visualizing the kid right now, but I wrote kid
Is it the kid who's sitting there like in Jaws?
that kills one of the humanoids
Yeah, he's
Oh,
yeah.
that one. Yeah.
with the fire spear.
He just throws a flaming spear at this humanoid and it catches on fire for
Great
no
moment.
reason. This
At least it
kid had
doesn't
more survival instincts than a lot of these people.
Yeah.
The movie should have pivoted to being about him right then. If they were smart, the
That's
whole
it.
movie would have turned on that moment.
Should be a sequel.
Yeah.
Like you know
Scare
how like
kid.
the sequels of Jaws had it followed the kids.
Yeah. When he went to work at SeaWorld.
Should do the same for this movie.
Did you know they remade this? Like for Sci-Fi maybe even. It's not good. But you should know it exists.
Did you watch it?
Back when it came out.
Oh.
I saw it. Yeah. It's not good.
Did it have as many titties?
No, because it was like
Well, that's
it was
sad.
sanitized. It was like a sanitized, which actually like speaks kind of to like the sleaze of this movie is part of maybe what makes it work.
Yeah, it was
It is
so much gratuity
Yeah.
and so much bouncy.
Gratuity
Oh.
was included, let me tell you.
This movie's so bouncy.
Yep.
There's another movie credited as a remake called They Bite from '92.
Ow.
That I might watch.
So I guess the whole these humanoids, they come to shore to kidnap and rape women basically,
Yeah.
and the men are just mauled. So I guess they're trying to spawn and create more humanoids by
They're trying.
Sounds about right.
raping these women.
Yes, they're trying to birth more a different version. I mean, what does a humanoid and a human mating do? Oh my god!
The remake did have some,
And then we
nudity in
find
it,
out.
but not like this. Not like this.
So before these women are raped, they have to run around naked.
Like Benny Hill.
Yeah,
It's like Benny Hill.
which
But
good.
dire.
It's like thank you, Roger Corman, because titties are nice.
Yeah, and then beautiful titties all over.
Everybody did a good job. All of the people and their boobies.
I know. It made me sad though when I heard about like a lot of the female staff, like crew and cast and stuff at the premiere. They didn't know that was coming.
Oh no, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So then they were blindsided, which is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's Roger Corman, and if he's like, "Hey, I'm Roger Corman. I'm gonna hire you to make something. You're gonna have something explode in it. You're gonna have nudity in it." Those are two things you kind of know going in, I think.
Yeah. That could be true.
Did he ever have exploding titties? Because that'd be combining his two loves.
Holy
Amazing.
shit. We didn't talk about James Horner doing the music. Went on to be an Oscar winner.
Yeah. Titanic and Star Trek.
Wrath of Khan, bro.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Aliens.
Yeah. Great composer.
Yeah.
And the score to this is really good too.
Yeah.
But was there, you know how much you have a problem with Mimic? How the Mina Sorvino didn't get her comeuppance?
Yeah.
Kind of same with this movie. I was expecting that awful scientist to get hers, or the Canco people to get theirs.
Or
but
Vic Morrow. He never got his either.
he had a redemption arc.
Yeah. It was weird. Because he was just straight up violent bigot.
Yeah.
And then in the next moment,
He's saving this kid from the humanoids.
you're like, he's not all bad. He'll go back to being a bigot tomorrow.
And then the Native American character saves Vic Morrow's life.
Yeah.
And they have this moment like, hey, you're not so bad after all.
It's their Iceman Maverick moment.
Oh, rest in peace. Val
That's all it
Kilmer.
takes for
Oh,
him
yeah.
not to be racist anymore, for somebody that he hates to save his life.
One of those people, the
Yeah.
minute they work with somebody who's
Yeah.
different, they totally change. Good people. Good people do that.
That's true. So it turns out Peggy is pregnant.
Yeah.
Has a quite gruesome birthing
Yeah, it was just the alien chest burster scene all over again.
explosion. Another explosion.
Yeah.
Movie done. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, this is a very efficient movie. It was
Yeah.
only an hour and 20 minutes, which I
Love it.
appreciate.
Love it.
It's entertaining too. But yeah, trigger warning for dead animals and rape. Those
Yeah.
are two big triggers for a lot of people.
But I gotta say, I think it's a good time.
It is.
It is a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like as a kid, I just thought when ladies were being attacked, but their boobies were out. I didn't know. You're just like, oh, the guys get their face torn off,
Yeah.
and the ladies get smothered.
But like it
You're
just
so wholesome.
the movie just kind of ends.
Yeah.
Like we see the aftermath of the Salmon Festival destruction, and then we see Peggy on the delivery room table, and that's it. So like that's like I said, I wanted something to wrap it up with.
You wanted
Yeah.
more. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
You were so into it. You're like, I need
No,
more.
it's like in these movies, like normally, the people who do the bad thing get something happen to them, but maybe that's for the sequel that the lawsuits for Canco.
yeah.
And they'll probably get out of it with their corporate lawyers
Or they get tied up in litigation for years and years.
for years,
Yeah.
for a decade. Anyway.
Humanoids from the deep.
And I can say,
Litigation.
their plan to kill all these humanoids is very suspect, because all they do is like pour some gasoline on the water and light it on fire, and that'll burn them all up.
Problem solved,
That's
man.
it.
Fire
We're
cures
hoping,
everything.
We're hoping that the humanoids surface right above the fire. I mean, if the humanoids are smart, they can just, swim 20 yards down away from the fire.
Yeah. For certain. But they're not smart. Their brains are exposed to the air.
And we don't even know if they got all the humanoids either.
Yeah.
It could be rife with humanoids
Well,
still.
There
and
is a
Peggy
distinct
has a
lack
baby,
of
too.
closure.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get a sequel someday.
Yeah,
that
and
explains it
Peggy
all.
at the end, like her eyes kind of changed too. So did
Oh,
the DNA get into her too?
a little got splashed in her eye.
Gotta wear goggles around those humanoids.
They're messy creatures. You want to talk about the algorithm? You have anything else for Humanoids from the Deep?
No, sir. Next
Yeah.
week we're going to talk about Blade 2.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love Blade 2.
Ballade.
Ballade. This is the one with Pearl in it, right?
Who's?
Wasn't the character Pearl in this one the big fat
Oh, I don't remember.
basement dwelling?
I
kinda-
barely remember this
I
movie.
don't remember any of it.
It was a fun movie.
So,
Yes, Amy. The algorithm. I have a couple of good things to recommend. One's on Max and the other one is on, I want to say Prime or Tubi. But the first one's Equinox from 1970. It's like a student film.
Equinox.
Equinox.
How do you pronounce it?
I don't know.
Equinox.
Yeah.
I guess you could say Equinox, but I think most people would say Equinox.
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 Equinox. It's about it has Herb from WKRP in Cincinnati in it. If that doesn't already sell you right away, it's a student film, which you'd be like, oh, ugh. But no, it's really good. It's like Evil Dead. You see a lot of the inspiration for Evil Dead. It's a bunch of H.P. Lovecraft works smushed together, and they are so ambitious for a student film, especially of 1970. Like there's stop motion animation and all kinds of stuff in it. But it's on Max. Watch that. And 100 Bloody Acres. Have you ever seen this? It's Australian. It's the guys who did I want to say Late Night with the Devil. That's right. This is an older movie they did from 2013. It's like a dark comedy about a couple brothers that run a fertilizer business, and they're grinding people up and putting them in the fertilizer. But it's all about how they handle, because they've been using dead bodies that they've just found, and then what do they do about when they run out, kind of thing. Really, really good movie.
Does it make the soil zombified?
It makes
And the stuff that grows into them zombified?
doesn't zombify them, but it makes you you'll grow giant pumpkins. They're those big ones they have to haul around on the back, flatbed of trucks, kind of thing.
You cut open to them, blood pours out.
Yep. Blood pumpkin. Rated R.
Blumpkin.
Blumpkin. Too bad that's already taken.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I started Devs, a new series with
Debs or devs?
DEVS.
V as in
It's on
Victor?
Hulu. Yeah, it's Alex Garland, the guy who did Ex Machina. I think.
It's a series?
It's Ron Swanson, Nick Offerman. Yeah, playing a villain. Fun.
What's that about?
Excuse me.
He's got the quaffs. I believe it's about devs.
Excuse me. It's about
Andy,
8 hours
duh.
long. I think it's
Duh. You don't know what devs are?
it's What was your question again?
What it's about?
Oh yeah, it's very similar to Severance in that it's about a really secretive company that this guy gets a job, coding in this environment where everything's a secret and you don't really know why anything's being done. It's a mystery. It's real spooky and weird. And it also has Alison Pill in it. She was great on Picard, right?
Yep.
Yeah. She's playing another kind of aloof character like that. But it's real fun to watch Nick Offerman play kind of an evil rich guy. And there's a scene where he's just shoveling a bunch of sprouts in his mouth and eating during a meeting. But
Is
I'm
it gross in the substance with Dennis Quaid?
no, it's more just a thing where of course this guy is probably the kind of guy who only puts certain things in his body because he needs to live forever or something. It's real good. I think it's been out for a couple of years already, but it's been sitting on my queue and I just finally started it. But I would, if you're into sci-fi, it seems like it's going to be a really thoughtful, suspenseful sci-fi series.
Do they have an episode called When Devs Cry?
If they don't, they should.
What a great idea.
And then Amy and I watched Streets of Fire.
Amy
Kinda.
did not watch Streets of Fire.
How
And we
much did you
slept.
watch before you zonked out?
Oh my gosh. I don't remember any of it.
So
I remember waking up to I Can Dream About You.
Yeah, that's why we watched it, is
Yeah.
because we were doing the music league. And I think, do you remember who picked it?
No.
I can't either, but whoever picked it was a great pick. I love that song. I didn't realize it was from that movie. You know that song? I can dream about you. Yeah, it's from that song. I mean that movie. The movie's it's like a rock opera kind of movie, and Willem Dafoe's like one of the villains, and he wears a leather onesie, and it's the guy who did the Warriors, is Walter Hill, and it's got Michael Paré, and he's just playing kind of a dumb leading guy, kind of a gape mouth hero type. And Diane Lane is playing this rock star who gets kidnapped by the gang, and he has to go rescue her. And then it has the lady from ER, whose name I can't remember, playing his sidekick.
Which lady? Juliana Margulies?
No,
That's the only
no.
thing I can think of from ER.
I have to look. Actually, I
it.
don't know for sure.
well, who
know.
else can you think of from ER?
This lady
You're right.
is. you don't think of old Stand and Eat from that movie Crazy as Hell? Eric what was his name? Eric?
No, I'm talking about actresses.
LaSalle?
We were talking about
Yeah.
actresses.
Amy Madigan. Amy Madigan. She was on ER for years, and Law and Order too. Anywho, she is his sidekick. She's kind of like a street tough character. It's all very elevated, and goofy. I loved it. The music's real good. Jim Steinman wrote a lot of it. So if you like Celine Dion's type stuff, it's real big belty music too, like you were telling
So
us.
is it like a feature type thing?
Yeah, it came out in '84, and they even like were gonna make like a series out of it. It was supposed to be like a trilogy, but I guess didn't make enough money. It's like a tight 90-minute. Rick Moranis is in it.
Oh, what an all-star cast.
Yeah, he's her manager. It's fun. You should. I don't know if our rental's still good. We rented it, but great entertainment.
So I assume, Amy, you just slept through everything. You didn't watch anything on your own.
No, I watched. I've kept my eyeballs open for The Pit. Have you been watching this?
I've heard about it. It's like the new ER, basically, right?
It's the new ER. It's what everybody's talking about. I kept seeing stuff about it, so I was like, "Fine, I'll watch."
Not
it.
just because I
Jesus.
know Wiley, but it's like a medical.
It's a medical drama about an ER.
And someone, I think it might have been Dustin, told us it was originally going to be an ER show, and then they couldn't get the rights stuff worked out.
But isn't the gimmick that it takes place in one day or something?
Yeah, it's like
Every
24.
It's like
episode.
24. Okay.
Yeah,
Every episode is an hour of the day. So good.
it is really good.
This is one time where I'm like, everybody was right. Maybe I do need to watch The White Lotus
I almost
because
started
The
that.
Pit
today.
is awesome, and I need to listen to people.
Why is it called The Pit?
Because it takes place in Pittsburgh.
Oh, no.
I know.
They have a
sorry.
big Primanti Brothers
Do they?
episode. Yeah, it's so cheesy. Where they give them free Primanti Brothers, and everybody's losing their minds over it. It's hilarious, and it's kind of like
Oh no.
Sorry.
I know.
I'm sure Pittsburgh's a nice city.
Yeah.
We just hate your football team.
and they have political conversations like a lot while they're walking and talking between patients, and
Like
stuff.
local
medical stuff.
Oh.
But you're like things that you're like you've been doing this for years and years, and you're still having this conversation with your administrator every hour.
Well, maybe medical professionals do talk about this stuff. I don't know.
Every hour though,
I don't work there.
with an administrator every hour.
I know. Seems like a lot.
It's a lot. This poor guy, Noah Wiley's character, he should be worn out, completely worn out all the time.
And the show is it's not censored. So you get lots of F-bombs. And also I saw a penis.
yeah,
And you see a boobie.
the gore is
It's pretty gory.
pretty
in
realistic.
spots. So it's like no holds barred.
still funny sometimes too.
I mean, is it because like a big disaster happens and we have to see that?
No.
No,
So it's just like a
just a
day in the
regular
life.
lack of
day.
resources. They don't have enough nurses.
Okay.
So there's a nurse shortage, and it's almost like We were talking about that. I'm like, it always seems like they kind of take a regular what it's like to work in an ER and then they multiply it by 3
Yeah.
for the show, but it's supposed to be pretty accurate.
How far are you guys into it?
5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah.
I
But
think.
is it like one of those shows now that only like lasts 8 episodes and call it a day?
I don't
No, I
know
think
yet.
this is at least 13. I believe
know.
more than that.
It's not 24 episodes. Like
No, I don't believe so.
Shooters, Jack. I
I don't know where I
that
came up
first
with
season.
13. I want you to know.
Yeah.
I pulled that one straight out of my asshole.
ew.
So I've been watching The Pit. Also, I think it's also on Max. Jeez, what am I like a slut for Max right now? But Hollywood Demons. It's a reality documentary series, true crime-ish, about bad Hollywood things. So the first episode is about Stephen Collins, Seventh Heaven dad.
Oh no.
Yeah.
How far do they like interview people from the show and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's deep.
Mm.
It's a lot like Dark Side of blank, whatever. You know
Right.
that series that Vice does?
There's a second episode that I fell asleep for, so sorry I did not watch that one yet, but
I'm
I
trying
will.
to remember what it even was.
It's
I'm
about
not-
child stars and
Oh.
violence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could probably skip that one. I don't know. You might want to watch it.
Okay.
It's just kind of like a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not that the last one with the child abuse wasn't a bummer.
True.
They're all bummers, but it was just kind of like you get reminded of the sad state of like how people ignore mental illness in these kids until it's way
Right.
too late because they're making too much money off of them. Ugh. Speaking
It's
of
gross.
overworked, Twilight Zone had 36 episodes the first season.
That's so many episodes.
It is. And we're talking about like an 8-episode series or a
Yeah.
13-episode series being a lot.
God, all these snowflake actors now can't last the
Yeah.
whole season.
Get it
I want to go
together.
home and see my family.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So I watched Tombstone because Val Kilmer, rest in peace, just
yeah.
died. That's my thing now. Somebody's dies. I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch a movie.
Yeah, a little remembrance.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it. It's nice.
So I watched Tombstone. I've never seen it before.
I've never seen it either.
It just slipped by me.
It's fun.
Oh my god, this movie's so fucking good.
It is
Yeah?
really,
It
really
is.
good.
And stupid me, I had no idea like some of these are based on true events and people.
Yeah, because they're also over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not over the top, but like in pop culture, it just kind of
Yeah.
gets so like watered down, and
Yeah.
you think that all these names you hear are just like Western names, you know.
I'm your Huckleberry.
I mean, we had an arcade in our area named Doc Holiday.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that the OK Corral, the shootout, the OK Corral was an actual thing.
Oh.
Yeah. That's
And-
the whole
Yeah,
premise.
basically it's the whole the movie's about that.
Okay.
But it's just so much more than that. This is such a good depiction of masculinity on screen.
Right.
Yeah.
You know how like women have like their beaches or sisterhood, the traveling pants.
Yeah.
Like this is a male version of that, where you can just relate on an emotional level to so many things as a dude. You know,
Yeah, I guess you're right.
it's about just standing up for the good guy and
Yeah.
owning up to shit and just being a stand-up person.
Yeah.
Like that.
And working when you're sick.
It's about fellowship and brotherhood and stuff like that. It's just a really positive depiction of that stuff.
Until everybody starts dying.
No, but but the people who die are
I
like the
know.
bad guys,
I
and
know.
like it's just so
Yeah.
like black and white about things.
Yeah.
And that's how the way the world should be sometimes.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That movie always made me feel good.
And like the Val Kilmer is so good in this. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like like there's certain movies that make men blubber, like you sob. Like the end of this, like oh my god!
Aw.
Yeah, it's dramatic. Yeah. It's
like
good.
I mean, I'm sure like there women can like this movie too, but I think it just hits for like
Right.
men differently than women does.
I saw this with Matt and Greg, our friends growing up. We saw this at I think it was Greg's birthday, maybe even, and we were just young teenagers, you know, and I think it struck a chord.
Yeah.
I think it really, like, guys of our generation tend to really love this movie a lot.
Yeah, this is like a prototypical dad movie, you know?
Yeah.
Well, now I want to watch it.
It's real good. You know what else is really good? If you like, it's not as good as Tombstone, but it's a good kind of in the same vein, a little more fun, is Silverado.
Mhm.
It's like a more upbeat, but it's kind of like got that. It's that while when we were really like kind of still saw the West as kind of a stylized, you know, before it got to be Deadwood.
Yeah. But this movie is like just so much more deeper than I thought. I thought it was just, you know, to be a shoot 'em up, rip roaring, caterwauling time, you know?
Yeah.
But there's so much character stuff and emotional beats.
Yeah. It's like, feels like a play until
Yeah.
there's, you know, gunfire. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of talking in the saloon.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's not boring. I don't want to turn you off, Amy, when I say a
believe
lot of
you.
talking. I just watched a movie with too much
It's
talking in it.
it clocks in at 2 hours and 16 minutes, but
Ooh.
it goes really fast.
Okay.
And everybody's in this goddamn movie. No, seriously, look after the show. Look up the cast list. There's so many people in it. I was expecting to see my name because there's so many people in it.
Where'd you watch it? Do you remember?
Hulu,
Hulu had it?
and it's on Prime too.
Cool.
I watched it on Prime because I started watching on Hulu and my closed captioning didn't work on Hulu, so I had to switch to Prime because I have to watch movies on closed caption now.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
usually do too.
It's really a thing.
Yeah, but yeah, it's rest in peace, Val Kilmer. I finally get what people are saying now because like when he died, everybody was saying, "I'm your Huckleberry."
Yeah.
And that's this famous line from the movie, and that's the name of his memoir too, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like,
You mean Val Kilmer's or
Yeah.
Doc Holliday?
Val
Okay,
Kilmer's,
yeah.
so I finally understood what people were referring to for that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's a good one. If you get into that era of Westerns, we could have a real good time.
Yeah. 90s Westerns,
Yeah. Unforgiven,
Young Guns.
Young Guns, I've
1 and
seen.
2. You seen Young Guns 2?
I don't know.
We got some good ones.
Quick
in
and the
there.
Dead is
Quick
pretty
and the
good
Dead
too.
was fun. Yeah. I think late 80s, early 90s. Quigley Down Under is a good one. Takes place in Australia. As if the title didn't give that away.
Still a Western? I guess it can be.
Yeah, it's a Western.
I guess so.
Yeah. It's got what's her nuts from Pretty Woman in it. The one who played her best friend.
Oh, Laura San Giacomo.
Is that her?
Is that her name?
From
No.
Just Shoot Me?
No, the other one.
Oh.
Wasn't that her?
Was she in Pretty Woman?
Like
Yeah,
Reeve Bev
Pretty Woman.
Welsh?
Yeah.
Is that her?
It is her.
Oh my God, I didn't realize it was the same person.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I'm thinking of the same person.
Oh, Lord. Battle of the IMDb's.
Anyway,
Who
but
was
Yeah, it is Laura San
Yeah.
Giacomo. Holy fuck. She was on Just Shoot Me.
yes.
Okay.
but does everybody have a crush on Val Kilmer like physically? Because in this movie he's just beautiful.
He's real slender.
Yeah.
Because he's dying.
I know, but like still, it just his like star
Right.
power just comes through.
Yeah. I can
My
see it.
mother lusts, okay, for Val Kilmer.
Woo.
And
Matt
it
Mardigan.
makes it weird if I were to as well.
Hey, hot is hot, Amy.
You're right. You're right.
You like him as Jim Morrison? You guys seen The Doors?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's real good.
Yeah.
He's real good in it. I don't even like The Doors, but I love that movie.
What about the windows?
Windows are okay.
What about walls?
I can spray it.
Okay.
What were we talking about?
Oh,
Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Being beautiful.
Matt Mardigan was his most beautiful role,
All right, then.
I think.
On that note, is there
So,
anything else?
go get Tombstone pizza and
Yeah.
then watch Tombstone.
Okay, I
Oh,
can do
good
that.
combo.
I can do that.
Oh, and this movie made me want to go back to Disney World so bad because
dude.
Frontierland and
Oh,
just like
yeah.
because like there's only so many ways you can depict the West.
Yeah.
And it is a kind of a cartoony thing, and that's the feeling I get when I go to Disney World and Disneyland. It's just
Yeah.
like this, fronts of buildings and
Virginia
Yeah.
City, Nevada is a really great place I think you'd enjoy. It's a little western town. It's like that, but for real.
No, I understand. Like after watching the movie, you get the romance and the appeal of like the Western and that whole ideal, you know.
Yeah. Well, Amy, do we have a date then for Tombstone?
We will at some point watch Tombstone.
Add it to the queue.
Yeah, you inject her with a lot of caffeine so she stays awake.
It's
Yeah.
real to do anymore.
Like, get your tissue boxes ready, Amy.
I doubled my vitamin D and it doesn't work. And I don't want to cry. I'm gonna cry.
I mean, it's pretty dramatic, so you might not cry,
All right.
but you might because it's so dramatic. But you will get, you'll be fine. It's not a documentary.
Okay. At the end of every show, we say hi to our Beelzebubs. Patreon.com/NOTLP. If you want to know what a Beelzebub is and how you can become one, and all the extra content that we have over there, and merch and stuff like that you can get as a patron. Beelzebubs. Matt, Branan and Emily, Jeffel, Iona Goodwin,
I want a great one.
Dr. Brian, Old Dirty Billsterd, Bill Fahrner, Blayne Yogurt, Jordache Jeans, Monica, Jeremy, Cassie, and Gamora, Ernest, Dave, and Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
Bye.
Bye.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed when his old bud